So, what is an apostolic church? An apostolic church is a church that believes church government is to be exercised through the New Testament beliefs of the apostles and other ministry gifts in order to experience the same kind of leadership as exercised by the original apostles that followed Christ. Now, the apostolic church is the template for the church. So the church believes that church government is to be exercised through the New Testament beliefs of the apostles and other ministry gifts in order to experience the same kind of leadership as exercised by the original apostles. So you see, in the early church, it's not a one-man thing. That one man is the one who preaches, is the one who knows the tithe, is the one who takes the offering, is the one who signs, is the one who sends all that. There's a system laid down. That's the blueprint for the church. That if we follow the pattern of the apostles, we're going to experience the same, similar or the same kind of leadership that they experienced. The leadership the church had then that made few, they took over the world. The Bible said these are those who have turned the world upside down because they got something right. How have we become so many and yet ineffective? Something is wrong. There's a deviation. There's a deviation. An apostolic church is a church whose doctrine and practice is in direct consonance with the doctrine and lifestyle. Doctrine and lifestyle of the early apostles. And one of the things the lifestyle of the early apostles shows us is meekness. It demonstrates as a template that this world is not our own. That's the template. An apostle is a church whose doctrine, teachings. So what that means is, and if you look at the way Paul puts it when he sends his message to Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 3, he said, if anyone desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. He calls it a work, not a good title. A good work. A verb, not a noun. He said, are you awake? Now, look at it. Let's go to verse 2 now. He said, a bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality. What's the next thing there? Apt to what? Teach. So there's no such thing as, well, this is a prophetic church, so we don't teach. You are not permitted to lead a New Testament church if you can't teach. Because that's how people are established. It is the teaching of God's word that establishes people, not prophesying. So we don't come to church, and listen, and please get me right, despise not prophecies. All right, prophesying. So we don't come to church and out of 2 hours or 1 hour, 30 minutes for preaching, 1 hour, 10 minutes has gone into there's somebody here. People will not be established that way. Anyone who is going to lead the church, he said, apt must be able to teach. So there's the office of a teacher, but there's the discipline to learn how to teach. Is that okay now? So it doesn't mean that primarily everybody must be called to the office of a teacher. But you have no business leading the church if you can't teach. That's what the Bible is saying. That's the template. So it means that, and listen, if we don't teach men how to teach, we're going to have more managers than pastors. Those whose duty is to manage tithe, offering, attendance, and to make sure that everything doesn't go down. But they can't teach. Nobody's being edified. Nobody's growing. Nobody knows their right to their left. People have attended church for 10 years. They don't even know what redemption means. They can't explain. Parents, if your child comes back from school and says, Mommy, tell me what's redemption. Do you know it? Our boast as Christians is not the number of jeeps we bought, but Christ that we know. That we've been taught Christ.